Hello everyone, I'm David, so I will be the one who is introducing the technical training and showing everything that we have. Currently, you will see the interface, me and Cindy. Hi. So this is a push video function where we will introduce as well our ECD 1000 video signage. And first of all, we'll show the ECD 1000, the decoder, how it looks like. This is our ECD 1000 with the plugged-in HDMI and the USB drive, and it's powered up with the Ethernet cable. As well, this ECD 1000 is equipped with a coaxial cable as well. You can power up the ECD 1000 using the DC 12 volts as well. Okay, so I will start with the ECD 1000 decoder, the presentation. I'm David, as well as it. Our content is containing the introduction. I will go with the architecture, then the application, case studies, and as well as the useful links for the customers to download it in the future and be able to be aware of all the troubleshootings that we have. This is the brief introduction of the ECD 1000, which has it's a media display station. It is supporting up to 16 channels. It supports full HD. It can be connected with the HDMI and the PNC. As well, with the ECD 1000, we can use a software so-called digital signage. It is equipped with the USB 2.0 one, and it can be powered up with a PoE switch or DC 12 volts. This is simply the architecture of the ECD 1000, where we have the PoE switch connected to cameras. Camera stream for the live view, and the camera stream for the ECD 1000 is a decoder. We can only see the live view from the cameras. If the customer would like to have a recording as well, you will need a recorder, which can be the standalone NVR Linux-based or the Windows-based. As well, for the public view monitor, it has to be connected with the HDMI or the BNC connectors. This is the application as a client where the ECD 1000 decoder can be used. It can be the parking lots, open areas, train station, warehouses, as well as schools or pharmacies. The application as a media display station are the retail, campaigns, commercial sites, mobile vehicles, where the route maps, museums and exhibitions, as well as the announcement activities, which are the schools. ECD 1000 case study 1. I will go with the brief introduction with the end user, with the Chinese Steel Corporation. The camera location was on the production line. The location of the ECD was the manufacturing control station. And the most important requirement, the key requirement, was the operator needed to monitor the machines which are unreachable for the humans. So it was an area where it was extremely high temperatures. Yeah, and we will go with the ECD 1000 case study 2 as well. I think Cindy will help us to give more information about this part.
So the ECD 1000 provides a simple solution for public lighting. Is to be used in the factory like the one we just mentioned. There are some areas that is unreachable. You need the eyes to monitor the production for the customer. In this case study, is true. It's a battery manufacturer factory. And the battery is related to a lot of chemical streams that makes the whole working environment very risky. So now when the area is going to industrial or 4.0, harsh environment. So this makes the cameras very useful.
you can see the situation. Okay. You can see the situation of the assembling line. Sorry, we have some audio issue just now. Okay. So the battery manufacturing factory with the harsh requirement is also we have this case study in the China factory. Okay. Sorry, case study 3 is in retail. Actually, in US, Europe, or Australia, New Zealand, there are many supermarkets or like clothing stores. When you enter at the gates, you will see a monitor hangs from the ceiling, which shows the CCTV. So it tells the customer that this store is under surveillance. So now we can have this part with the digital signage, so it can have the advertising at the monitor. So when the customer step into the shop, he can already see what's on promotion now, what kind of special event this store has it. And then further in the future, I think more and more retailers, they are using digital signage as a communication tool to their customers. So you can see the left picture here. It's hanged on the aisles. And then we also have a case study in Australia. They try to have the digital signage in every aisle, and then they have the Acti cover cameras embedded to capture the audience's faces, and then we can further analyze the audience's age and gender. So the retailers, they know who are watching their digital signage, and they can further get this big data and then further sell the advertising to the vendors like Coca-Cola or Doritos. And case study 4 is a hospital in Netherlands. It's a university hospital, so there are a lot of harsh operations in there, and they have so many surgery rooms. So why they need the ECD 1000 is not for surveillance. It's actually for operation management. So they have a surgery coordination room. We can say it's a control center of the whole surgery room. So they have the cameras, PTZ cameras installed in the surgery room, and the live stream goes to the monitor via ECD 1000. And in the coordination room, the doctors there can already see if this surgeon in room A is delayed or it's finished earlier, so they can easily streamline all the surgeries and make it more efficient. And also, it can be the educational use, because I mentioned this is a university hospital. So some critical surgery, there are students, they can watch. Instead of staying in the surgery room, they can stay in the remote room and watching the view, because we also have the PTZ can zoom in to see the view. Okay. And the case study 5 is very good for you in Australia market. It's for Australia Post Office. They use around 220 locations with many cameras, access cameras for surveillance. And then in the post office, they want to have the live view in their back office, also at the front of the store with the digital signage as a communication tool with the customers. So this case, we have installed around 900 pieces of ECD 1000. Okay, so you can see how wise use. Okay.
In addition, I would like to say that the ECD 1000 has a specific connectivity. For example, if I want to have a local view or I want to connect to the ECD 1000 remotely, they have different accessibility. For example, ECD 1000, we can add cameras, but locally, it should be H.264, the compression, and the maximum resolution of the camera of each channel should be not exceeding more than 2 megapixels. Moreover, if I'm connecting remotely, I can use my Internet Explorer 11th version as connecting remotely. It should be the maximum resolution of the camera will be up than 10 megapixel. The compression should be MJPEG, NPG4, and it can be decoding in 4 channels. It will be fine. But if I'm choosing 60 channel on the decoder, it should be on the iframe mode. Also, ECD1000, any third-party device can be added without any issue if the on-beat profile is enabled. In this case study 5, I would like to mention something very specific about Axis cameras. All the Axis cameras, before being added in a device via on-beat, they have to be enabled the on-beat profile. For this one, you have to go to the Axis cameras firmware and open an account, on-beat account for the Axis camera. After the account is opened, the on-beat profile will be enabled on an Axis camera, and after that it can be added in the ECD1000. This is not only about ECD1000, this is talking about all Axis cameras that are being added to the on-beat devices.
So we have a question asking about more information for case study 4. Okay, in this surgery room, they use 1 mini PTZ cameras. So mini PTZ cameras, the room ratio is around 10 times. And then in the corner, they have indoor dome cameras, which is Echo 58, and the PTZ camera is B95A. So they have this kind of kits in every surgery room. And they stream it to an MVR, so they can record the view, the situation. And another stream goes to ECD1000, who is putting in the coordination room. So it's quite a simple solution. So the customer asked these questions. I can send you the PowerPoint, the proposal we did for these projects, so you have more ideas. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. So I will just lastly provide the useful links, which is the firmware, which was last updated on January 11th, 2017. The user manual, which is very important for the decoder to download and read. If you have further issues, you can contact me. As well, the digital signage installation guide. Later, I will talk about the digital signage installation step by step, how it's being done, as well the digital signage manual. I recommend every 2 to 3 months connect to our Acti download center, check for the latest firmware versions, as well the user manuals and more updates that we can have for the decoder, as well for the other devices. Camera firmware, it can be standalone MVR, Linux being embedded, or Windows embedded. So before I will finish this PowerPoint presentation, I would like to show a quick video of the ECD1000, how the device actually looks like. So the video was made by me, and I would like to show you this one. This is the ECD1000, where the USB drive is attached, and it is powered up with the Ethernet cable. We can see that the red and the green buttons are indicating that the USB drive and the ECD1000 is powered up. Here on the video, we can see this one, and later on I will tell what is the purpose of using the USB drive on the ECD1000. So this is the ECD1000, which is attached to the monitor using the HDMI cable. That's what we can use here, coaxial cable VSC. So we can see that the ECD1000 also used as a digital signage, where we can show our cameras on the channels, as well we can show videos on the meantime, advertisement, as well it can be PowerPoints, or it can be some existing snapshots. Okay, so
I have a question. It can show video and it can also show picture, right?
Yes, true.
I see.
Yeah, and what I would like to say in addition is that the maximum amount of the videos should not exceed than 4 channels. So we can add in each layout not more than 4 videos. all included the pictures or PowerPoints. It can be added.
So no matter videos or slideshow.
Yeah, no matter.
Not more than 4 channels.
Yes. The other channels are going to be used for the camera slide view.
And except for the advertising for the retail, actually we also have some case study in Netherlands using in warehouses or factories. So with the monitor, there are staff like station manager. They can watch the live view, and at the same time they have some SOP aside the live view to see. Or there are some warning signage like this area is a forbidden area, something like this. So it's really a communication board, like a bulletin board.
Thank you, Cindy. Moreover, I would like to say a few information about the ECD1000, why we're using the USB drive. USB drive mostly is used for in putting the content information about for the ECD1000, where the USB drive is going to handle it. As well, if you want to upgrade the firmware of the ECD1000 locally, you have to put the firmware version inside the USB drive and then update the firmware. Also, I would like to show the user interface of the ECD1000 when we connect remotely, which is using the Internet Explorer 11 version. This is the ECD1000, the one we just showed you, the videos and the snapshots. These are the 3 cameras added: E96, B955A, E76. Those are the live view, and this is the simple interface of the ECD1000 with the live and the setup. So I would like to show on the setup a few information useful, which is very important. The home button will indicate the system information, network settings, the camera, maintenance, events can be deleted, modified. The power button, the view system log messages, where we can add the users, modify users, and give them group permission as well. We can put a delete, modify schedule settings. The system will show the firmware version of the decoder, which we can see that it's ECD010B1.04.05, which is the latest one that we have for now. The serial number, of course, the company name, product ID, and the channel numbers and the maximum live monitors. Maybe you will have a question why the ECD1000, which has a 16 channel, showing 9 channels. On the local view, when we connect the ECD1000, firstly, we can choose the channels from 4, 9 to 12 to 16. It depends on the channel amount, depending on it's going to be on iframe or in a normal mode. So this is the local language display, like audio out modules and data time that we can configure on the ECD1000. And anytime, these are the modules that we can change from 4 channel, 9 channel, 12 channel, and the 16 channel. For this mode, we choose a 9 channel mode to show everything on an auto chop mode, 1080p. If you will have some issues, mechanical, or you will think that the device is faulty, please go to our customer help desk, open a CHD ticket, and we will immediately take actions remotely trying to check and solving the issue. For that one, the most important information is the firmware version provided to us and the serial number of the decoder that you have. Also on the network side, the most important thing, if you want to connect remotely from outside of the network, you have to do port mapping, which is a port forwarding for the HTTP port, which by default comes 80, port number 80. If also do not forget to port forward on your router. Because we have different routers, users use hundreds of different routers, and each router has its own way to do port mapping. For this one, I will recommend you reading your router's user manual for doing the correct port mapping.
So David, so this one we are showing is the remote client of the ECD1000.
Yes.
And you can also, because the ECD1000, we see there's a USB slot. So you can also use the mouse and then connect to the monitor and change the setup in the local directly.
Yes, of course. It is a USB 2.0 mouse. You can even add a keyboard, but a mouse will also provide you the information to pop up a small keyboard, which will help you to log into the ECD 1000.
So basically, if you want to use ECD 1000, the public live view, you don't really need a PC. You just have a local setup. That's it. And then if you want to use a PC, you can use a remote client with the ECD 1000 port forwarded. Then you can use the remote client.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Finally, you go to the camera set where you can add, duplicate, or delete the cameras. You have to simply click on them. On the yellow cell, you can see that the cameras are selected. I can take any actions and add, delete them anytime. As well, it will go with the scheduling, which has the event handling, or there's no event handling. The maintenance is the part where we are doing the firmware upgrade. If you want to back it up, you can browse and back up your information, and after you maintain, like make some changes to the ECD 1000, you can restore your backup. For this one, you will need to use the remote client. This is also the user part, where it's like have the subgroups called group, user, and the permission. You can create as much users as you want with giving them the different permission. It can be live view setup or the remote test, remote connection. The most important thing is to provide the user the correct administrator rights before you can log in. Because sometimes the customer is saying, I have a user, but I cannot log into the ECD 1000 remotely. Why? Because on the application part, maybe the user didn't give a permission as a remote client. As well, if we're having some issues to get all the required information, how was the ECD 1000 behaving, the log messages, please go to the log, search and export the log messages, and this information will be very useful, saved, and sent to us to troubleshoot the ECD 1000. As well, on the lastly, I will show that it's the power button where you can reboot or power up the power of the ECD 1000. This is the simple interface. As well, I would like to mention that the ECD 1000 is not a recorder, and it only has the live view and the setup. Yes. And after this one, I would like to show our software, so-called video signage. First of all, I will help our software MDR. We will do a video push where we can show the ECD 1000 device as it's working as a digital signage. And after that, I will start with that. Now we are pushing the video live from our call room. You can see this is the ECD 1000 with the USB drive on it where all the contents are. It's powered up with the LAN connector. And now we can go to the connected with the HDMI to the monitor. And it's showing on the screen the digital signage. We can see from the digital signage that we're using a layout of 6. Number 1, number 3, and number 4 are the videos, and the rest are our live views.
Okay, I think this number is important, right?
Yes.
Because we need to add the cameras in the ECD 1000 with these orders.
Yes.
Okay. So we can note first, now the cameras in channel number 2, number 5, and number 6. So you can see the number here. Okay.
Yes, and another thing, if you're using the digital signage and accidentally on the layout of the camera, for example, channel 2, you add a video where the camera was already added, the only problem we can have is we can have a video lagging. So I recommend you deleting all the layout and creating the layout again. Okay.
So what you mean, you mentioned the USB sticks is with the content. So do I store the content in the USB sticks?
No.
It's like this?
We're using the content using the digital signage software. Yeah. But
so the USB sticks actually is empty and it needs to be formatted. Yeah. Yes. So before you insert it. Okay.
Yes. So I would like to later on, thank you. I would like to show the digital signer software. Here it is. For digital signer software, we'll basically need a Windows-based machine. It has the following interface: the dashboard, device, subgroup, group, content management, and the system. On the dashboard, you have to go, we can see that the ECD device is already connected. We can check the task history. And after we can see that it is connected, we can even refresh to be sure about this one. I already created a group, subgroup, that's why we had the videos. But moreover, I will pass through it to say which window is dedicated for which one. When you go to the device, it gives information for the device name. We can change the IP address of the decoder, port number, account, and the password. After you input the correct information, please click apply and add a new device. After you add the new device, you will have the ECD device showing connected. As well, you will have it like the name as an advertisement. You can rename it whichever you want.
So after you add it, it will show up in the dashboard.
Yes.
Before you add it, there's nothing.
Before you, yeah, there's like, it's all empty. So that's why the first step is dashboard, device, subgroup, group, and then we go to the content management. The system will give us the information later to register licenses or get more useful information. So because it's already added, I will go through it and show how it looks like. On the subgroup, you can rename the subgroup anytime. You can apply it, or you can even add a new subgroup to the digital signage. Do not forget to click on the subgroup, or you can, before applying, you can even delete this subgroup and create a new one as you wish. If you forgot the step, please go back and create this one again before going to the group tab. On the group tab as well, it can be renamed, applied, or you can add another group as well. It can be added as much groups as you wish for your content. This is the content management where you can create the layouts. We can see that we have different layouts. It's 1, 4, 1 plus 5, 1 plus 7, or 2 plus 4. Yeah, because for this one, I already choose it. It was 1 plus 5. Let's see. And from, if I click 1 plus 5, on each channel, I can choose if I want to add a video, slideshow, or none. None means that I will add a camera later. Video, after I click the video, I will have to go to my playlist, select the file, and add the video. Because the layout was already created, and I already have I did not register any licenses. I would like to show why. Because ECD 1000 is free for one license. But if you want to have more layouts, you have to purchase a license. So each license is for each content.
I see. So you mean when you purchase ECD 1000, you can already use one layout with digital signage?
Yes.
If I want to change the content, how can I do? Just delete it.
You have to just delete it and edit it again.
Create a new one.
Create a new
okay,
one.
So I don't need to have purchase extra license.
Yes, but if you think this is like too annoying, or every time you have to delete your created layout and it's not convenient, I recommend just like simply purchasing a license and going to the system and doing the online or the offline registration. Online registration is when you're connected, your computer is connected to the internet. You just have to simply type the license which you purchased from us, the correct MAC address from your device, computer, and the account and the password of your Acti device. And you can simply click apply. If not, yes?
The account and password, just a reminder for the customer.
Yeah.
Your membership to Acti's website is nothing like a default password to the camera or to the ECD 1000. It's the membership you have on website.
Yes, and creating an account is free on our webpage. You can feel free, just create an account. Or if I'm not connected to the internet, I'll go to the Acti's webpage, go to the registration, to the digital signage offline registration. I will only need to input my license key and my correct uh, MAC address. After that, I'll get an email notification, .lic file, where I can already get the file using a USB device and import in the digital signage, and it will be done, the registration.
It sounds like all Acti's software or MVR ECD1000, the license registration step is the same, right?
Yes, it's a different software, but the registration is like the same, online or the offline.
The method is the same.
Yes, and in the future, if any product you have already registered licenses and your server or decoder or the computer is broken, you will need to use your license again. You just contact us, we clean the license, and then you can register your license key with the new server or the new MAC address.
Can we go back to the channel management?
Okay, here we are.
Here is publish this task. So here, after we decide what contents to put in each channel, we will publish here, right?
Yes.
And it has the now and later. So it means we can schedule the layout to be.
We can schedule the layout. We can put it for later, and after that while, we can just leave it. It will add the content by itself.
So in this case, I need to connect this PC with the ECD1000, or can I do it remotely?
We can do it, of course, like remotely as well. That's how we do.
Okay, so do port forwarding as well for the ECD1000?
If we're in the same network, it won't be a problem. We don't need to do port forwarding. Port forwarding we will need when we're accessing the device outside of the network.
Yeah. So it can be done if you are outside the network. Okay, but it's just a one-time setup, and you can remove the PC. So it's just a one-time tool. You configure the layout.
Even the digital signage is working. You can anytime remove, or if you remove the USB drive, you will only be able to see your cameras. If you plug in the USB drive back again, you can see that the contents are there already.
Oh, so you need to have USB 6 inserted.
The USB drive should be always inserted to the ECD1000 for using the digital signage content. And as well, I would like to say that the USB drive size should not be exceeding than 128 GB.
Oh, 100.
This is the limitation of the maximum size that we have for the decoder.
Okay, so we just mentioned when we check the digital signage layout, I asked you to remember which cameras, which channels the cameras are put. This is from here, right? So for example, we just said we already decided channel number 2, 5, 6 need to be camera. So here we will choose cameras here. We won't upload any content here.
Yes. So the reason more like about the channel is that if I want to add the camera to the channel 2 or channel 3 and 4, we have simply to click done. We cannot add a video. You can add a video, it won't be an issue. The issue will be that the video will be lagging while showing on the monitor.
Oh, because there are two streams trying to get to that same channel.
And another quick update I would like to say that the reason that we will need more licenses, it's very important because we can schedule content to be published later.
So do we have any limitation of the content? Have we mentioned about it?
Yes, I have mentioned about this one, and I would like to show that the maximum of the videos can be added, or the slideshows can be added in the layout is 4. And the rest should be cameras on the live view.
I see. So we can have a video and the pictures. So they have special formats?
Yes, the video should be .avi, which is converted in the digital signage software when we add the content. And as well for the pictures, it should be .jpg.
How about the size of them? Is there any
The size of them should not be exceeding than 12080 to 1080. Sorry, 720. So it shouldn't exist than 1 megapixel. Let's say the resolution. Yeah, this is for the snapshots.
Snapshot is 1 megapixel.
Yeah.
And the
video
resolution is
and the video is maximum is like 2. Should not exceed than the 2 megapixel.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the software itself. It's free. You can go to our download center. It has 2 versions for computers, 32 bits and 64 bits. It is very important to install in your correct computer, correct bit rate, because otherwise if you're using the 64-bit computer and installing the digital signage software for the 32 bits, we will have some issues of the ports. We will need to change the port numbers. So for that one, I will later share you a very important information. It's an SOP document for the digital signage software, how to go from A to Z from installing brand like new software in your computer, if it will be 32 bits or it will be 64 bits. The SOP document is very simple. It has a couple of steps and it's showing with the snapshot as well. So you will see totally the same information while installing the software in your computer.
A customer is asking, we mentioned about the cameras will be added in channel 2, 5, and 6. Do we need to do any special setup in the ECD1000? Can we go there and check?
No, because on this one we had the cameras already added in the channel number 256. So that's why you have mentioned that here. We can see on the light that the cameras are added on the channel 2, channel 5, and channel 6.
How to do that? Because normally, if we add the cameras, it will be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we will just like go to the setup. We create our own layout and drag and drop the cameras there and save and reboot the camera. For example, if
we go to setup and then the cameras, and then actually we can add it manually.
Yes, it can be.
And can assign the channel number directly.
Yeah. Okay, and moreover, we can search the cameras in the network, add it manually if you know the IP address of the camera, add it through the RTSP, or add the camera manually connecting other NVRs.
I see. So we finished this ECD1000 and digital signage.
Yes.
Is there any questions from any other? I think now we don't have any other questions for ECD1000 and digital signage. If you have questions, you can still post it on the chat room. I will collect them and we can answer in the end after introducing the ENR.
Yes.
So, because the time is tight, so we will go directly to the introduction and training of ENR server.
So let's start the presentation for the standalone MBR, which is a Linux embedded. This is the simple architecture of the standalone MBR, which is the cameras connected to the network connected to the standalone. We can access the standalone remotely or locally, where you can just like see the security officer doing the surveillance. As well, it can be connected to the network, which is the web client or the remote user. MBR standalone ENR, so-called, is a Linux embedded system. There is no Windows. But if you like to access it through the Windows system remotely, we can have a software so-called BMS, 32 bits or 64 bits, which will help you to have the interface to connect to the standalone ENR. This is the standalone MBRs. We have the software MBR, standalone MBR Linux embedded, and standalone MBR Windows embedded. Basically, the software MBR is running in the software MBR Windows, but today we'll talk about the standalone MBR Linux embedded, which gives a plug-and-play. It has the free licenses, stability, and the secure system. For the standalone MBRs, we have 2 generations, generation 1, generation 2, and the coming months will have the new, like a significant different Generation 3 standalone. I will talk a little bit about that before the presentation is being like finished, but now I will concentrate on the standalone MBR Generation 2, which are the ENR 110, 120, 130, 140, 190. And as well, there is an ENR 010P and ENR 020P. I will tell what is the biggest difference between these models. ENR 010P and ENR 020P are the embedded Linux standalones where we have a built-in PoE switch already. ENR 010P is coming with a 4-channel, and ENR 020 is coming with a 9-channel. So the maximum amount of the channels are the 4, 8, 16. All of them are supporting H.264. The local view cannot exist, is going to be up to 4 megapixels. If I will have a camera higher than 4 megapixels, I will have to do remote access or lower down the resolution of the camera. We can do PDZ, speed control, preset point tours, and as well the mouse. We can use the mouse as doing the PDZ. It has a synchronized playback, and the monitor is being connected with the HDMI. These are the list of the ENR 110, 120, all of them we have. Today, mostly I will talk and show the video of the ENR 190, which is a rack mount, and it's a 16-channel video device. Simultaneously, it can be connected 2 remote users and 1 local, but you can connect in different times with like unlimited remote users can be connected simultaneously. It's only 2. This is the limitation, and the throughput of the recording is not up to 50 Mbps. All the standalones are equipped with the USB 2.0. And after I talk to the Generation 3, I will give some very useful information about the coming standalone.
And there is information about free license. So we don't need to purchase extra license when you use with Acti cameras. How about if I have a third-party camera? Do I need to purchase?
You don't need to purchase any licenses. It's coming, if you see the free channel, it is talking about the third-party device or the Acti cameras.
Thank you.
You do not need to purchase any licenses for the standalone MBR's Linux embedded machines. So this is the interface of the ENR 110, 120, 130. This is the rear view. We can see with the power status, factory default restoration status, and we can see the green button, which is the write or the ATD read status. It has the Ethernet port LAN 1 and LAN 2. I'll later tell what is the difference between this LAN 1 and LAN 2. It has the power connector, factory default button, and it is equipped with the USB 2.0 port. This is the ENR standalone MBR 110, 120, and 130 connection. Below is the diagram, which will show the example connection of using LAN 1 to connect to the network cameras with the LAN. So we have default IP addresses for LAN 1, which is 192.168.0.10, and the LAN 2 is 192.168.110. LAN 1 is dedicated the LAN dedicated for the cameras, and the LAN 2 is dedicated for the wide area network. ENR automatically is assigning IP addresses to the LAN 1. So we can see that the LAN 1 is connected to the PoE switch, where on the PoE switch are connected the cameras. And the LAN 2 is used for the wide area network. As well, we can see that the USB mouse, keyboard, and the disk can be attached with the USB drive. And it is connected with the HDMI monitor. This is the connection type for the ENR 140 because it has a different interface. As well, we have the same power source and the same LAN connectivity for this ENR 140, which comes LAN 1 is coming for the cameras, which is connected to the PoE switches, and LAN 2 is connected where the network is, where we can connect to the network cameras as well. It can be used the joystick or USB mouse or the keyboard. And on the LAN 2, you can connect remotely using the remote client or the SMTP server. The ENR 190 is a little bit different. It is a rack mount as well. the other previous ENRs, it is coming with the LAN 1 and the LAN 2. LAN 1 is dedicated for the IP cameras, and the LAN 2 is dedicated for the wide area network, which can be connected for the users for the remote clients. This is the standalone NDR login page, which is coming with the default account and the password, which is admin126. If you log into the first time to the ENR, I do recommend you always changing the password and always registering through the email. So later on, if you forget your password or any credentials, you can retrieve your password or the username. If you forgot the username and the password, there is only one thing remaining to do, is to hardware reset the machine. But before hardware resetting the machine, you have to be aware that all the recordings and everything, all the settings will be gone and will be wiped away from the standalone NVR. And another thing that a lot of customers are saying, we have a crucial recording, or what will happen if our NVR, standalone NVR, is being crushed, which as well the sales get a lot of these questions, inquiries that what is the solution? What can we do if we have a crucial recording? There is the third way to do troubleshooting. You can, before hardware setting, you can simply take off the hard drive from the standalone NVR and later on keep the hard drive, and you can plug into the same model of the ENR. For example, if I have an ENR 140, I can use ENR 140, a working one, to plug in the hard drive to the same drive, and I will be able to retrieve the recordings. And later on, I will be able to export them. I'll talk about this one later. What is the best way to keep safe your data and recordings on the hard drive? This is the window that is showing how to format the hard disk. But before I go to this one, I think it will be better I show a useful video, which is the first time setup for the ENR 190. This is the ENR 190, which is being equipped with a hard drive of the WD 4 terabytes. And we're going to plug it in for the first time. We can see that it is connected to the LAN 2. As well, it is always mentioned on the standalone, which one is the LAN 1 and which one is LAN 2. Here we will plug in, but make sure that the standalone NPR is turned off before you will plug it in. Connect the mouse, the keyboard, and connect to the HDMI monitor and turning on the device. You will see that the blue icons are appearing on the hard drive, which is showing that the system started to boot and the hard drives are already safe to move. These are the sys, HDD, and the power buttons, and as well we can see the reset button. Simply do not forget to use the reset button instead of the power up button, not to have any issues for further. So this is the video where it's showing how it's being connected. I'll move forward and show how it's being connected with the Acti logo as well. This is the ENR 190, and you can see that it's being booked up. And here's the Acti Verify with the connecting vision. I would like to go a little forward and get some information how the local view looks like. We'll go to the system. It has the network, camera, schedule, events, log, user, maintenance. There is the power button, or we can close this window. For the first time using, when you plug in the hard drive first time, you will need to go to the storage after you turn on the device. After you will go to the storage, you will see that we have SATA 3, SATA 4 hard drives. Before you will start to use these hard drives, you have to format them using the ENR local view. Here we can see that we are going to format the SATA 4. For that one, we will just simply go to the hard drive, format. It will ask, do you want to format to this now? Of course, you will have the information that everything in recordings will be lost on the hard drive. So after you will click OK, storage format pop-up window will come up and it will start formatting. So I will skip the formatting part, and you can see it's on a 93%. And here we have the video. Here, there is the window that is showing that this format is completed. You will click simply OK, and it will start the recording, or you can put the schedule recording for your hard drives. I would like to mention that the ENR 190 is coming with a four status, so you can install like 1, 2, 3, 4 hard drives, and how to start the recording, how it will start to record. The recordings are going to be by sequence. For example, the hard drive 1 is going to be for recording. After it is full, it will pass to the hard drive number 2. After hard drive number 2 is full, it will skip to the third one, and so as well to the fourth one. After all hard drives are full, it will turn to the hard drive 1 and start the recycling and recording again. This is how it looks like.
Of the retention day of the recording, right?
Yes, of course. We can set it up from 7 days until as much as you want. But all the depends.
It's also on the same page just now.
Yes, here we can see on the hard drive part when we're just like recording. If you go here, you can see that the maximum recording day is set it up as 7 days. You can set it up to 10 days, 15 days, a month, and click apply. This will be done after the formatting.
Can I set schedule recording as well?
Yes, of course. You can go to the schedule and put a schedule recording for each camera. And if you have an event, for example, motion, it will keep recording, or just like if there's no event, no recording. So we can keep save the capacity, save some capacity on the hard drive. Later on the remote connection, I will show how the schedule recording, events, and the user maintenance are being done, which will be live view for the customers to see. This is simply the video where we can see. I'll go to the menu where it's showing the adding the videos, adding the cameras to the ENR, which will come with the search camera. It will search all the cameras in the network, add cameras manually. If you remember the IP address of the camera, you can simply type in the IP and add the cameras manually, so-called RTSD. Yeah, this is for the first time. When we search the cameras, it will start to search all the cameras connected on the network. And later on, we can simply add them. Yeah, it can take a while. And here we can see all the cameras attached in our network. You can see that the same camera comes with an on-beep or with an active profile. Before you will add the third-party camera to our standalone MBR, you will need to make sure that the on-beep profile is enabled on the camera. If the on-beep profile is not enabled on your device, I recommend you contacting the third-party device to be able to enable the profile. About the Acti devices, if you're using Acti cameras in your third-party, adding as a third-party device to your recorder, you have to make sure that the Acti's on-beep profile is enabled. All the Acti cameras are coming with the profile disabled. You will need to use a URL command or go to the camera's firmware and activate the on-beep profile. If you will need this useful link, I will share you later, so it can be very useful for you to always be able to enable the on-beep profile on the camera. I would like to mention that our latest standalone ENR 190 with the latest firmware is supporting only on-beep profile 2.4 profile S. 2.4, yes. So after this video, I will continue with the slideshow. This was the standalone MBR's window where we have the setter 1 and the setter 2 for formatting it. If you do not format, you cannot start the recordings. And this will be the window of showing you how to add the cameras. It will be auto adding, search cameras, add cameras manually. Or you can just like on the D side, you can add camera manually using the RTSD real-time streaming protocol. This is live view on locally on the MBR. On the view list, camera list is always shown on the left side of the view. It has the event list and the PDZ panel, where if you have a PDZ camera, you can simply use this window to control your PDZ camera. It comes with the live menu. Live menu showing the contents, what is the layout for the standalone, as well as showing the setup menu and the screen switch. Screen switch will go from the live to the playback. From the playback already, we will be able to export our videos. This is the live view locally showing on the standalone MVR, where we can see that the list of the devices, list of the events, and the pan tilt zoom options where we can control the camera as well as the speed. Okay. So after showing this one also locally, I would like to say that you can connect to the ENR standalone using the IE remotely. I recommend you using the latest IE version, which is the 11th version, because Microsoft stopped all the support for the earlier versions of the browsers. So I'll go to the IE, where I type in the IP address of the ENR, which is 172.168.149. This is the interface of remote connection to the ENR 190.
It looks similar to local display. Can
Yeah.
we show everybody just one difference I noticed? In the local display, can we bring up the PowerPoint?
Yes.
In the local display, the dashboard, the first word. No, the following. This live screen overview, it's the same as the remote client, right?
Yes.
Can we check again? Because sometimes customer cannot find the bottom, but it's similar. It's almost similar.
This, of course, this part is similar, but the difference is that we're connected with the IE, and we can see that the live view, playback, and the setup are on the right side of the browser. And on the PowerPoint, we can see that here we have the logos connected on the bottom part, live and
so
playback.
this is the only part that is.
As well, the interface is a little bit different as well.
Okay, so we can go to remote plan.
Okay.
Further to introduce more detail about the functions.
Yeah. So we can see that this is the ENR with the live playback and the setup. We have 4 cameras added to our ENR, and we set it up this view that's called demo as a default screen. Let's go to the test view. For example, we have different cameras. How we can make some changes? You just drag and drop the camera to your view, and do not forget to edit this view. Let's go with the test view. Save view. And if you like to put the test-free view as a default, you will simply click Set Default View. And after you restart the system or come back here to the software again, you will always see the view as a default.
David, some customer has the question that they cannot view ENR, even they already done port forwarding on the ENR, but they cannot see from the mobile client. Then the answer from the technical support is always to create a new view. How to create a new view?
We'll simply go to the view, create the layout that you would like to here, drag and drop your cameras wherever you wish to. Click Edit View, let's say for mobile. Click Save, set it as a default, and restart the system.
After you need to restart the system.
Yeah, after you restart the system, you will be able to track it on your mobile client application.
Okay, so it looks like we can have only maximum 5 views.
Yes, this is the 5 view we have. Yeah. For later on, if you need more views, you will need to delete one of the views.
Clear.
Okay. So This is about the views. It's showing the events, as we said, as well the PDZ and the preset pointer. Okay, so I will go to the camera code B95A and try to use the PDZ function using the PDZ button. We can see that I put the speed to the minimum, so we cannot rotate it too fast. This is being done with the PDZ button. As well, on the beginning of the presentation, I said that we can click the mouse and turn to the PDZ function. So this is the part of the live view, and as well, there's a two difference between the PDZ cameras. There's a digital zooming and optical zooming. What are the differences? The difference between the optical zoom is that the camera itself is able to optically zoom in, and digital zoom we can do for the cameras that are a fixed lens. For example, the view number 5, E96, is a fisheye 5 megapixel camera, which doesn't have the optical zooming option. So if we select the area on the ENR, we can see that it's already zoomed digitally. If we scroll it down, scroll in, scroll out, we can see that this is called digital zooming. For the B59A camera, if you click on the view and you scroll it down, you can see that we're zooming optically. So after a while, it will focus it itself. So this is the difference between the optical and the digital zooming. Okay, so if you will need to do like digital zoom for the PDZ camera, that's no problem as well. You just have to select the area. Later, I would like to show what is the playback. The playback is the most important part where you have to be able to already export or get a backup of your recordings. I recommend you after a couple of like months or days, if you have a very important recordings, go to the playback, select your cameras. This is showing the playback for the B95A and A476 cameras. We will simply right click, mark export start, and click the area where we want to mark export end. And after we select the area, we'll click here, which is showing export the video. After exporting the video, there are two save file formats. One is API, another one is RAW format. The difference between them is that the RAW file itself is like already compressing the file, so it's getting smaller. API is the actual size of the file, which will be much bigger. But there is some limitation of exporting the video. For example, if I export the video connected locally, the duration of the video should not exceed than 30 minutes on an AVI file. For the RAW file, it can be more than 60 minutes. If I want to export the videos using remote desktop client, we'll need to use the maximum exporting time will be more than 1 hour for the API, and for the RAW file, it will be not more than 2 hours. These are the limitations of the standalone ENR. So now if I click to the RAW file, we can see that the safe path is C, my desktop, and clicking the export, I will simply have the exported file. I would like to show that the RAW file itself, a lot of players cannot play this RAW format. So for this one, we give our customers archive player, which is the player for the RAW file format. It is free in our download center. You can feel free go there, download that one, and export your files in a RAW format. Why I recommend to the RAW formats? Because you can save more capacity on your hard drives. If you do not care about this one, please you can use it. You can add a USB drive or a hard drive using the USB drive and export the API files to your computer. Here we can see already the exported file. which is the frame rate with the 30. The video type will be H.264 with a resolution of 2 megapixels. And using this archive player, you can even stop, play, pause, and fast forward on click the frame rate or save a desktop image directly from the recorder. So this is the playback part, and eventually I would like to go to the setup part, which is the main window for the ENR, which is almost the same interface as the ECD1000. So I'll go fast with this one and show the system information, where is the firmware version of this standalone MBR, so-called ENR, the serial number, the company name, ID, and all the channel numbers and the maximum live monitors that it can be supported. The maximum channels for the ENR 190 is 16. The minimum will be ENR 110, which is coming with the 4 channels. As well, we can simplify the date, time, email, storage, where we can show that the storages are set it up for recording or not. Here we can see that the first hard drive is not set it up for recording, and the hard drive is set it up for recording. Why we did not set it up for recording? Because here we were doing some tests on the hard drive. If you will need to check the format, if it's working fine, if it can record fine, you will simply click refresh. It will start to detect the hard drive. It will take a couple of from a few seconds to a minute to detect the hard drive on your standalone ENR. So it will prove that the hard drive is healthy, so we can start recording on that one. So I want to wait until it will detect the smart detection, and then we will have already the hard drive ready for recording. Okay, now we can see that it's starting to detect. Before the detection is done, I can go saving time. I can go to the other part, so-called the camera, and show how we can add the cameras. Simply clicking add, searching cameras. We can add the camera manually or add the camera using the RTSP. When you add the camera manually, you can choose the only profile, or it's going to be Acti camera. So, or we can just delete, selecting the cameras, and re-add them again.
In the system, there is an email. So this is the place that you set up email with the SMTP server.
Yes.
That's when you need, when you forget the password, you can retrieve.
Sure.
Okay.
Or get a notification or get snapshots from the.
So it's suggested if you log in the ENR for the first time, come here to set it up first.
Of course.
So in case that you forget your password.
Only the thing you have to care about this one is depending on your email provider, you will have to select the desired port number for your email SMTP provider, which will be different for the Gmail, for the Yahoo, and other email providers, as well as Outlook. As well as I said, when we go to the system storage, we can already see that it's still already detected the hard drive on the smart detection status. As well, the most important part where we can do schedule recording is the schedule button. If I go to the schedule recording, I want to do schedule recording for Echo 217 camera. We can see on the red from Monday to Sunday, it's a full-time recording. If I want to save a data, for example, I want to do full-time recording for event recording for the camera from Monday to Sunday, we have to simply click with the time and click on the event. And on the yellow one, we can see the event recording already. And we can save it. And that's it. So the hard drive ENR will have a recording only when the camera has an event. As well, I would like to show the event triggering on the ENR, which can be the motion, digital input on, network loss, or network recovery. If you click the Echo 217 camera with a motion and click the button to edit, you will have a pop-up message which is showing the beep. If there is any alarm pop-up instant playback, it can enlarge the local display if there is any notification or there is any event triggered. It can go to the preset if the camera is a PDZ camera. It can even send an email notification to the desired like email recipient, or it can trigger digital output. So this is how it looks like. And I would like to log in for the first time to the ENR 190 to show how it will look like to log in to the device. Depending on the network connection, maybe it can take a little bit longer. So this is it, where I will connect and I put my own password and then I will be connected. Only one thing I will recommend, always use the IE 11th version and always be aware that the ActiveX component is installed in your web browser properly. So this is the setup part, and this is, yes? Here, we have it.
So focus is that only the PDZ camera can do it. Like any camera can trigger by a motion detection or a digital image as an event, and then you can make a comment.
Yes.
To the PDZ camera that is also in this system.
Yes, it is also. Yeah, so the camera can send information, and the PDZ camera will go to its desired preset point. This can be set it up from the ENR as well. As well, I would like, when we were talking about the ENR Generation 3, I would like to say that we'll have an advanced already. So the camera itself will be able to start the auto tracking, or we will have the option for the OCT, which we can already introduce to our customers as well, which we only support for the Windows-based software only.
So in the future, because now it's here, you can see a lot of artist posts from the 3D magazine talking about visual analysis. So now a lot of active cameras have 3D analysis, like line crossing area. This is for security trust.
Yes.
So this is useful and more powerful than motion detection. Because motion detection, we all know that there are so many false alarms before. But with video analysis, it can be more precise. For example, line crossing, like literally there are some pixel change cross the line, it will trigger the alarm.
Of course.
So you can trigger, and so the focus is that there is one application that's widely used for fisheye cameras. Because fisheye cameras, you know, it can cover a wide view, either 180 or 360 view to cover the whole view of the area. But then the drawback is it cannot produce enough details. So how can we do? So we can have a PDZ camera, and then it can focus on some specific area, for example, the entrance or the window or the stage in your office. So you can have the preset points like this. So fisheye cameras as an overview camera can see the whole office area, and you can set detection area. If there are some motion happen there, you can ask the PDZ camera to direct to the direction and zoom in to see the details of what happened. So it's quite useful function.
Yes. And another thing that I wanted to mention about the ENR Generation 3 will have in the coming months. It is equipped with the USB 3.0 one slot, and it has two USBs for the USB 2.0. It will have the maximum HDD capacity with the 6 terabytes. It will have the maximum hard drives with the 2 units, and it will not, unfortunately, have the RAID level. It will have so-called the NAS. We can attach a network attached storage. It will withstand with the humidity from 10 to 85%, which is like 5% higher than the current ENRs. It will always work on from the 0 to 40 degrees Celsius temperature, operating temperature. And the models of the ENR Generation 3 will start with the ENR 150, 160, 170. And for the built-in PoE switch ENRs will be ENR 150P, 160P. And those are the two models as well as I talked previously. And it will support from 6 to 9 channels, and moreover the ENR, this is the built-in one. But the ENRs that are 1 6150, it will be more than 60 channels, 16 channels.
16 channel model will have 30.
No, not the one. Yeah. So another thing is that, which is very important, is that the ENR 190 will have the full compatibility with the mobile client, with the CMS 2.0, with the POS machines. It will have the network DIO as well.
So the ENR in the future can have integration with the network device.
Yes.
Network devices.
Yes, it will. Yes, POS and digital input output network DIOs. Yeah, this is the information that I wanted to share with the ENR Generation 3, which will have already in the coming months, and it will fully be compatible with all our Acti devices, and it will support higher profile than 2.4 only.
2.4.
Yeah, higher than that.
Higher.
Yes. So about another thing, do we have any questions about regarding the licenses or any issues with the ENR's live view?
We have a company saying that the license, no need license for the Acti camera is 2 pieces.
Yes.
We want to plug and play.
It's just, yeah. So any environment you put it on, you will plug in, you will add the camera and just leave it there for the recording.
And we have been asking about local display. Because many times we have a limitation of the high resolution camera. For example, the local display of ENR, the maximum we can record up to 4 megapixels. The local display.
Yes.
You have Acti have high resolution camera, 5, 12, 10 megapixel cameras. How can you use it?
Well, we have to go remotely, connect remotely to the ENR, which can be higher than 10 megapixels. Or if you want to watch it locally, you have to go lower down the resolution of the camera, not higher than 4 megapixels.
But even with the live view, you can only limit to 4 megapixels. The recording you can have it.
Yes, recordings is no problem. Yeah. And I would like to share a snapshot, which is showing the live view of the ENR Generation 2. Basically, if you're having problems with the live view is lagging, or the recording is not smooth, or the playback as well, the exporting the videos, there is a specific place to go and check what is the desired configuration for the camera, and what is the maximum channels or maximum cameras we can use for the live view smooth recording, playback, and exporting. This is for the live view. For example, if we're having with the maximum 9 channels, I do not recommend going higher than 2 megapixels on the 30 frames per second. But if you lower down the frame rate, of course you can go with a higher resolution. As well, on the playback, we can see for the 9 channels, I just give the ENR 020T playback, which is a built-in ENR. Which we can see that this is on the live remotely. This is on the local display, but on remotely you can go with a higher resolution and higher frame rate than provided in the following snapshots. And as well, these are the specification you have to follow up for the smooth recordings. So if you have a 9 channel edit to your ENR, you can go with the higher than 10 megapixels. The frame rate should not exceed the 6 frames per second.
Basically, for recording, you can record the full capacity of the camera.
Yes. Yes.
But you can see in the live view that for local display, you have some limitations.
Yes.
This is because the ENR machine is we designed it as a typical plug-and-play one. It's dedicated for the recording instead of live monitoring. Okay. So we always suggest to having only the recording and the monitoring use of remote client or remote client computers. And then secondly, we mentioned about the recording. We can have very good quality with the full capacity of the camera. With the live view, we need to downgrade the resolution for frame rate. Then can this be done? Yes, because every Acti camera at least has 2 frames. Now you can have 2 frames.
Yeah.
So you can have a lower resolution and frame rate for live view stream, and then you can keep the recording stream the full frame rate, full resolution.
And in addition, I would like to say that if we're talking about free streams, Actis has three streams: stream 1, stream 2, and stream 3. Stream 1 is dedicated for the high resolution for recording. Stream 2 is for the live view, which will go with the low resolution. As well, the stream 3 is being used for the mobile applications. For example, connecting from the mobile with the mobile client, which won't get too much capacity and bandwidth from the network.
Let's show how to configure this part.
Okay. I think we have one camera on the network. I would like to connect. Yeah, of course we can, but I would like to show the interface of the camera itself. As well, I will go to the ANR part. This is the camera. We can go to our camera, and from here we can get the camera settings, and then we'll be able to stream mode in a dual or TCP, or with change the resolution of the camera. Because
you mentioned stream 1 is default for recording.
Stream 1 is for recording, and stream 2 is for the live view. And here we put the live recording stream to the stream 1. From here,
actually, you can change it.
Yeah, of course, you can change the stream 2 for the recording and stream 1 for live view, or you can use the stream 2 to dash stream 1, or you can use stream 2 for both live and recordings as well. If you want to lower down the resolution as well, you have to go with the stream 2 stream, both of the recordings and the live view on the stream 2. Yeah, but do not forget to get camera settings before you will be able to maintain or change any settings on the camera itself. But moreover, if you will need further information to change on the camera, you will need to go to the web configurator and click on it, and it will open the camera itself with its own setup.
So we have a customer asking about upgrading the camera somewhere from EMR. There's a lot of times when you are going to do the English, so you will only have the remote access to EMR instead of each camera. So the camera itself is not for forward. So you can come here, enter the ENR, and then enter the camera
IP address. Yeah. You can upgrade from there. Or if you're using a Windows-based machine, you can use an IP utility software, and you can click all your cameras using this software. The software will detect all the cameras in the network where you're connected. You can click, or you can just update it using you can even upgrade the firmware version of your decoder or ENR using the IP utility software, which is more convenient if you have more than 20, 30, 40 cameras.
Just go there and then connect your computer to the local network.
True.
And then you can
save some time.
Quickly upgrade, because the noise actually take a lot of time.
Yes, so it depends on the condition or the environment where the MBR or the standalones or the cameras are connected.
So a customer asking about a backup of the EMR.
As I told about the backup, we'll only have a backup as so-called manually. We cannot export it like putting a schedule. We have to go to the playback, select my desired camera and the duration of the time we will need to have a backup, and export it using the ABI or the RAW format. We can back up the configurations of the ENR. So later on, if something happens, we can restore the configurations back. This one we don't have to mix with the backing up the recordings. Backing up recordings only goes for the exporting videos. So this is why I recommend every 10 days or 15 days, if you have some important recordings, go to the playback, export your own desired playback recordings, and keep it on your external hard drive.
Yes, because the ENR has a USB slot that you can insert external storage. Like
yes.
Hard disk.
You can,
manually export them to that hard disk.
Yes.
So it will be detected in the storage part.
Yeah, it will be detected in the storage part here, and you will see that you're going to export on the specific storage.
But you also need to format it from here?
First of all, if you're plugging in the first time the hard drive, if you want to use it, you have to format if you want to use it for the recordings. But if you are using for exporting, you can just add in the USB drive or the external hard drive and add your capacity, add your recordings in this like storage. You do not need to format. Of course, if you like to get rid of your information, you can simply format it.
Yeah. And then for generation 3, the next generation of the PNR series, we support NAS, right? So NAS will be a very good solution for your storage bank.
Yes, because it will be a network attached storage and it will already help us to add more capacities and add more hard drives in a network, and all of them will be reading, writing, and recordings will be done simply to the network attached storage, which will save more power source from the ENR side.
So generation 3, I think the critical function that we can have pre-announced here is the most important is the NAS. So you are not limited to the ENR server itself, data disk. You can have an external storage.
A2A and have a notification from the IVS as well.
Yeah, this is a very important function. You can use the IVS like more powerful notification. So we have a lot of videos recently, live broadcast about how to use video analysis to design into your project. What kind of vertical market, what kind of scenarios, you can use different kind of algorithms. So you can come to our Facebook if you like it, and thank you the Acti YouTube channel as well. Okay, so generation 3, these two functions, we can move forward to it in Q2 this year.
Yes, and it will also have the USB 3 as well, which is like has a much demand on the market as well, which a higher speed. And that is it for now. And I would like lastly to mention one thing, that there can be connected 2 remote clients remotely and 1 locally in the meantime. If you connect more remote clients simultaneously to the same ENR, we can have some playback issues, or we cannot see live view smoothly. It will have some lagging, or it will have some jittering. So if in the same time you're connecting to the ENR remotely, it should not exceed than the 2 clients in the same time. Or if you want to connect to the standalone Linux-based machine from a Windows system, we have a software so-called VMS. We can install this one, and it looks like the interface similar at the local view of the ENR locally when we connect. And it will be coming with the 64 bits and the 32 bits. Before you installing your Windows-based machine, please make sure what is the bitrate of your computer, 32 or 64. It is in our download center. If you need these files, I can share you all this information, and I can always recommend you going to our download center every 3 to 4 months to check for the new updates, for the new firmwares, and for the user manuals for any Acti device. Also, I would like to mention that the ENR itself cannot update the firmware. So you will need to go time by time to our download center and check for the newest updates of the firmware. And you can download this firmware to your USB drive. You can attach the USB drive to your ENR, and from the USB upgrade your standalone MBR's firmware. Why I recommend every 3 to 4 months, as all the manufacturers do, because it will be more compatible with the newer version Acti devices. As well, it will be higher OIF profile as well. It will be more secure, and it won't be any issues with the videos, or you're having a lagging. All these issues softly will be done. And another thing I would like to say, that every standalone MBR is coming with the release notes. On the release notes, there is written soft changes have been done, and bugs have been fixed, and what enhancements on the video part has been done.
Okay, thank you. I think it's we're for the day, and that's all for the training today.